Yeah, hello and welcome to another edition of After the Whistle. I don't know, what's today? Today's the 20th. Today is the 20th. Time is going by so fast. I'm here. Todd's here. It ain't raining.
Yeah, it's actually been nice the past few days. Kind of warm too.
Yeah. Fall is about to fully kick in, so the sun's starting to go down early and stuff like that. So, fully getting into it. I was reading some, animals are like some, the animal, like the nature. I was reading some stuff about some of the, like, otters and some of the things they do. Like, they be, otters be doing some stuff to little baby otters, and it's like stuff you'd be like, what the hell? Like, they do some crazy stuff to them, then they just leave, they guard the body there until like another otter comes in, and then they like just do some other stuff to the body, like stuff I can't say. And then
you kind of leaving the viewers in a wonder of what he's even talking about.
They're gonna have to research it. You
ain't got no way you could put it into like PG form. If you told me, I could probably do that. But all right. Wish I could help.
They do stuff to little baby otters that
they fondle them?
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, I'm not an otter, so I don't understand.
Yeah, and then they kill them after. Yeah, that was crazy. Then I was reading about ducks and some stuff ducks do to other ducks. It's like animals are crazy. It's just like the whole thing I was reading. It was just some crazy stuff. This lady was just giving me, was just putting a whole lot of facts about different types of animals and like the cruel things they be doing to each other and stuff like that. Like,
was she trying to like compare them to humans or something?
No. Oh. She just be like, like saying facts about animals, like stuff people wouldn't think, or stuff people don't know. And then
I mean, I don't think most people would think about that for most animals.
Yeah.
Just saying.
And I think at Todd, there was like people that think like certain animals are like little cute. They're cute and playful and all that. Like, no. They is not at all. No, it's not playful.
I don't really like animals that much, to be honest with you. Like, they're beneficial for the world, but like, I don't care to be around them. They stink. Most animals have a scent to it. I'm not too fond of. So.
I'm not an animal person myself. I don't like when people look at you weird because you're not an animal person. I'm like, no, I don't like animals. Like, can I just not like animals?
No, because I mean, in America they have this weird stigma that like the animal is like above the human, which I wish was true. Just so humans can understand that they're not the more superior being, but sorry. We create weapons and stuff to take down all types of animals. Sorry.
Man, you know what I wish was true? The Patriots' offense is actually good. They're terrible, and I think we've come to the point where Patriots Nation and certain Patriots fans and people, they're babying the quarterback. They're trying to void him of criticism and not trying to say it's not his fault. The offense is not scoring points. It's like, I get it. Offensive line is not so great. Don't have the most talented receivers, but it's not the offensive line that's throwing interceptions when y'all in opportunities to score. That's not the offensive line. Also, it's not the offensive line when you need a first down. You guys are running short of the sticks, and you the quarterback. Defense gives you time. Defense gets the stops, gives you opportunity to tie the game. Not once, but twice in back-to-back weeks, and you can't do nothing with the offense. And I'm just like, and everybody wants to baby him and try to blame the coach, blame the lack of receivers. And I'm just like, all right, when are we going to look at the quarterback? Because he's supposed to be the franchise quarterback. There's certain stuff he's supposed to overcome, because we've seen quarterbacks overcome certain things.
Yeah, we've seen some things, but we also are trying to measure him to like a different caliber of quarterback that has been here for some people a lifetime so far. So, and we had a little Cam Newton stint that people don't really remember Cam Newton playing for us that well. But hold up.
I'll get to that in a second.
I know you're Cam's guy.
No. I'll get to that in a second.
But like with Mac, I mean, he didn't play awful for the second year, right? Second year. or third year. I mean, he didn't play awful. He played a better team, better overall team. This is the second week in a row they got down in the first half and had to try to come back, which, you know.
What they spot him this time?
It was 17-3 at halftime. So, like, you know, they definitely battled back. They showed that they're a little more resilient than last year's team was. My biggest issue with them, granted, you know, Jones could play a lot better, but their play calls on third down. You got 31, and you got the running back 4 or 5 yards getting the handoff, like, and you're playing against a solid Dolphins.
Small dude, too.
Yeah, solid Dolphins team. So, like, what do you think was gonna happen with those third downs? There was multiple occasions where third down calls were awful based on the coaching staff. So, I contribute that on both. Now, I don't know if Mac has been around long enough to be that skilled in calling out those audibles and adjusting and things like that, but they also got to send their players out with better calls.
I don't get why they wasn't going with the no huddle offense. It seemed like that. It seems like he's at his best when you just gotta not huddling. You go no huddle and just, you know.
I think he figured they start to figure that out as they continue to do it more, because they've been trying to make him a drop back quarterback, and that's not what he's most effective with. And then with the no huddle, they were getting yardage, they were putting pressure on the defense, they were keeping the defense out there, and it'd be more effective. So I think from here going, you know what I mean, from here on out, I think that we working more on the no huddle offense, just because it just allows them it's kind of like a team that runs a lot compared to a team that's not that good in half court. Yeah. So if you can get out on a run and that's what you do, and you're better off doing that, you might as well. And you seem comfortable too.
You would hope, because some big, from game by game thing, you don't know what they're gonna do. And then third down's been an issue for a while. It's like we're going on like year 4 with third down. With third down offense has been an issue. Also, red zone offense has been an issue. I think they got to the red zone a couple times. I think they had a field goal block.
If I can remember, yeah, they did.
They had a field goal block.
It was a cool little play they ran.
I mean the Patriots. When they got in the red zone, the Pats when they got in the red zone, I think they
I
missed
the
the
Pats
opportunity.
Who blocked the field goal?
Yeah, the Pats did block the field goal. I think the Pats they might have missed the field goal. I think they missed the field goal at some point.
I don't know, man.
But you got to get touchdowns in the red zone. That's the thing. Get touchdowns in the red zone. It just seems like they need to play with like more of a sense of urgency, and like you need to call the plays where it suits these guys. The deep dropbacks, we're trying to get the deep ball. Don't really have a guy for that.
Well, also too, their running backs, I don't know what they were doing. Like Stevenson, 15 carries for only 50 yards, 1 touchdown, solid. But we need more. We need more from the ground games, and we need more from our run defense. Because Monster, he's solid, but he had 121 on us. And 145 as a whole for the team. So it's like, all right, they got to tighten up as well, because that's usually the backbone of the Pats team, is their defense that allows their team, allows the offense to make mistakes, and it still gives them chances to come back.
And there was multiple times, I think it was like third, they had them on a third down, like third in a good amount, and they just do a run play, and Mostert or whoever was back there would break off a big run on third down, which is like, that was never acceptable. Again, first downs on third down runs and stuff like that, can't get off the field, giving the Dolphins defense more time to rest. So it was like.
But it's also tough because you have Tua. In every pass, he averaged 8.3 yards a pass. So it's either he throws for a first down or you run for a first down. So Miami did a great job of keeping the pass on their toes and being more unpredictable than the pass were. But it's easy to be unpredictable when you have a guy that can actually throw the ball and make better decisions and actually get it down the field.
And Pats just
doesn't get sacked as much.
No sacks, not turning the ball over. The Pats right now, they're making these runs, they're trying to come back, but they just don't look good right now. And it's kind of like, bro, what did we do what did y'all do all offseason?
They have to go back to their motto of playing all 4 quarters. You know what I mean? That was their thing when they won the championship a few years back. So they've always been playing half a quarter, and it's been the second half. So let's see what they do when they put a full game together.
And it was more annoying. It's like you knew you needed help with the receivers. You knew you needed wide receiver help, and there was some guys out there and just they didn't even bother to sign them or give them the money that they would want. That the guys, they will end up going somewhere else. But those guys that you brought in for like meetings and stuff, you didn't sign them, and they could help this team a whole lot. But I mean, here we are. On the bright side for them, well, not the bright side. They do got the Jets coming up, but after that, they got a couple. They got a. This is like it's a tough. The schedule to start the season is pretty tough. So they need to string together some wins before they get behind the 8 ball, and then like during the end of the season, you're trying to like fight your way to a wild card spot. So they can't dig themselves too deep in the hole. But it's only week 2. NFL season is a long season because sometimes teams that don't look good early look good late, and sometimes teams that look good early look terrible late. So I'm gonna hold off, but I did tweet out he stinks. So
who?
Mac Jones.
He's not. He's better than this guy you're about to talk about.
He's just not it. Who we got next? Yo, did the Jets just like looked at their game plan and how they won the first game and said, we ain't gonna do that. We're not going to run. I think they had like over 200 yards rushing last week in week 1.
They heard you on the last episode giving this dude Wilson kudos about being a solid quarterback. And they said, you know what, Wilson, let's take us home, man.
What did he do? I think somebody said he couldn't play dead in a horror movie.
Nah.
Because that whole game plan they had was basura.
He threw 3 at in-toes.
3
I told
in-toes.
you, bro. They gotta get a different quarterback.
3 in-toes. What you run the ball?
They ran
16 times. Mm-hmm. Breece Hall had 4.
Mm-hmm.
Dalvin Cook had 4. How are you supposed to even win a game like that?
I mean, they only scored in the second quarter, and that was 10 points. So it's just your third down percentage. You were 1 for 10. You only scored only achieved third down success in 10% of your attempts. Like I told you, man. Like I just told you, him watching Mr. Rogers in practice wasn't enough. Like.
I don't even understand their game plan because they know he's not that type of quarterback for them to have that type of game plan on the road, going to a team that just pitched the shot out the week before, and then you're just gonna throw them to the wolves like that.
We live in a trendy society nowadays where people follow the lead, unfortunately. So they know this is a pass-happy league. Somebody probably called the front office and said, "You better put that man there and tell him sling that thing." Pause. So that's the only excuse I could give for this because they barely let him throw the ball. That's why I said he was looking like the Alabama quarterback the first week because I forgot his name, but like he barely threw the ball. Every time he got rushed in, he ran. And Wilson, I ain't gonna lie though, they might have to put Wilson at like slot receiver or something. He's fast. He got some wheels on him, but like his decision making with throwing the ball, or they about to treat him like what's that man's name for the Saints? The guy they still have.
Or Taysom Hill?
Yeah, Taysom Hill or something like that. Give him that type of feel, or the Wildcat, because he's just like he can only get better from this. Just as a whole, they had 4 turnovers. Like that's crazy. But
as a whole, you went from 28 carries for 172 yards the week before to 16 carries.
But it is crazy though when you average more per yard on the floor or on the ground than Dallas did, 4 to 3, and you don't continue to run the ball. And they ran the ball 44 times. And
the thing with Dallas, they're such an aggressive defensive line. Like one thing to neutralize an aggressive defensive line is with the run game. You can slow them up with the run game, and they didn't do that. And then once you dig yourself into a hole like that, okay, they're gonna tee off now. That's exactly what they did.
But when your quarterback can't make just simple plays to keep the defense on edge and on their heels, it's gonna be tough for you to even.
It's like they thought
run the ball.
It's like the coaches fell asleep and thought Aaron Rodgers came back.
I mean, they were listening to you.
I wasn't gonna say like change your whole game plan to have him throw the ball. I ain't that crazy. He looked good, but he ain't look good enough for you to change your whole game plan to have him be a focal point of your offense on the road.
The reason why I'm laughing so hard is because remember when they was talking about them bringing another quarterback in, he was talking crazy, talking about I'm gonna make that guy's life a living hell, this, that, and the third.
Oh, Wilson?
Yeah, and then when he found out it was Aaron Rodgers, he tightened up. So like now it's like, all right, now that you got to see a Hall of Famer at work at Tad. All that talking you was doing, now you're back in the driver's seat to just show and justify yourself being there.
I said this was his opportunity. Like, also, like, that's a short leash in the NFL. You just stay in the league.
Depending on what franchise you play for, though.
That too, but even if you're like in a bad franchise and you show a little something, other teams will be like, okay, there's stuff there. But you can't even justify. But you can't even like.
Didn't they win like 4 or 5 games last year?
It wasn't because of him.
I mean, but he was that center.
It was because of Breece Hall and the defense. So he might end up being one of those guys out the league next year or the year. Like his time in the league is, especially with some of the college quarterbacks that are. You know. Zach Wilson, man, you need a. Oh man, should not have been on the Cougar hunt.
You should slow him down.
Clearly. The Ravens, they look like a whole different team now. They look like a team that's focused on getting their playmakers the ball. They look like a team that's not trying to have their quarterback. They're trying to have their quarterback at the end of the season because they haven't had their quarterback to finish the season.
For now.
All year. But it's crazy because they got some of their running backs are hurt. So they need to bring in some running backs. But 2-0 on the road. They're 2-0. They beat the Bengals. The Bengals look like a shell of themselves. Quarterback's hobbled. Their best receiver, he's not really getting that much targets. And then Nelson Aguilar, former Patriot on the Ravens, was making big plays for the Ravens, and Lamar Jackson getting the ball down the field. It's kind of like two teams that are like going in 2 different directions, especially with a guy that just got paid too.
I mean, I felt like we've kind of seen this at first already with the Ravens. So I'm hoping this continues to be the trend because they did this before and then they kind of resorted back to their habits. So should I say relapsed back to relying on Jackson or relapsed on Jax. But I thought it was dope because you had 3 running backs for Baltimore, all had 10-plus carries, which is something rare just for a team itself. So if you have that much firepower, you know what I mean, the running back position, definitely want to utilize it to make Lamar's job a lot easier since he's your most dynamic player on the offensive end. So you want to use him as like a special weapon at times, with his running as like a special weapon compared to like how they just kind of relied on it, and that's why he didn't last a full season.
That's why it sucks that dude J.K. Dobbins got hurt because it would have been J.K. Dobbins, Gus Edwards, and this guy Justice Hall, those 3 guys, and then you add in the Lamar Jackson factor after, so that's like four attacks right there on the ground. But as far as like passing, they're not turning the ball over either. Not turning the ball over. But for the Bengals, they just, I don't know, they seem like the team that just always starts slow.
It just seems like that too, and it seems like a team that just disregards the injury reports. Because like if you had Burrow with a calf injury, why is he dropping back, throwing the ball 41 times?
Go.
If he can't get his legs into it the way he should because of his injury, and then you get to the red zone, you're only 2 for 4. You probably could have ran 2 of them touchdowns in there if you stop relying on Burrow to just be magnificent all the time, which he can be, but he actually re-injured that calf during the game, so like they all knew that. So you gotta improvise. You gotta be smart with the play calls.
And that offensive line too was trash.
And you gotta believe in your team. Like you gotta believe in the plays that you pick to put in these positions because everybody's getting paid to do a job.
So Ravens so far so good. It's a good start for them. They just hopefully they can have all their guys at the end of the season, because that's one thing that's always the issue with them is the end of the season with guys falling. So hopefully they saw a witch doctor or something. I don't know. But Monday night football doubleheader. I don't know if you watched it.
What?
The Steelers-Browns game?
Yeah, I watched that one instead of the other one because for some reason ESPN was acting up for me, so I got stuck watching.
I was watching that.
Steelers and the Skid Marks.
I was watching that, and then when Nick Chubb got hurt, I heard the screaming, and then they were talking, and then you heard the fans' reaction to the replay. Like you could hear the fans' reaction to the replay, and it was just like, oh. And they didn't want to show it again, which just showed you just how bad it was. And it sucks too, because this was a guy, their best offensive player. He's the best offensive player.
Yeah, he was on the road too during that game.
Yeah.
He was keeping them in the game. He was getting great yardage.
Yeah.
And once he went down, it just went to poop.
That whole offense just
fell apart.
Yeah, everything.
And it sucks because Watson's trying to get back into the flow of things, and Chubb was making it easy for him. But now it's like, now you're in the fight, brother. So now you got to tighten up and really get. I want to say get in the gym, but you don't get in the gym. You got to get on the field. And you probably want to just put some extra work in with your receiving core.
Because he hasn't looked good either. Watson, since like he came back into.
There's no rhythm. There's no, I want to say, camaraderie. There's no chemistry. There's nothing right now because he's trying to fill out everything compared to just knowing your receivers.
Yeah, even the Steelers, they didn't look good themselves either. They
only won because Chubb got injured. To be honest, bro, like think about it, 26-2. They was looking bad. They could barely score.
Yeah, I think all the stats favored the Browns. Like everything favored the Browns.
When's the last time a team won without any red zone attempts?
Yeah,
and that was the Steelers.
Yeah, and their quarterback. I don't know what they saw in that guy, but I don't know. He's another one. He's not it. Kenny Pickett. He's not it. He's not it at all. Like they need to go back to 1970 Steelers football and just run the ball 40, 50 times a game.
But first, your running backs have to be able to get you solid yardage and be logical when running the ball, and that's one thing. I don't know what Harris was doing with some of the runs he was doing. Granted, he's a well-skilled running back, but I just feel like some running backs have the vision and some don't. In regards to seeing holes and being able to maneuver, and some guys are just like prototypical run the play and I'm gonna get as much yardage as I can.
Yeah, I think he's more in between tackle guy. I think they be trying to get him to be like they be trying to get him outside. Yeah, get him out like toss plays and like stretch plays and stuff like that.
And that's probably my type of running back that can out there shake and bake and all that. And he's one of those.
He's a big dude.
He needs his blockers and stuff.
Yeah, he's a big dude. Once he's like one of those. He'll run up the middle. Once he gets that momentum going, there's no stopping him. But you just can't just try to have him go out in the open field and try to juke somebody. Like he could do it, but he's just not that type of running back. Like those happens in spurts. So,
but if the Browns are gonna have a chance doing anything, they have to protect Watson because there's no reason why he should have been getting sacked 6 times.
Yeah, protect Watson.
But he does hold the ball still a little too long, but not as long as he used to.
Yeah. But they signed Kareem Hunt, so. He's not bad. He's not a bad replacement. So he was there before. So we'll see what happens. But that game.
Why is Kareem Hunt getting shopped around like this? Is he not producing places? What's up with that? He was the man a couple years ago.
State of the NFL running backs.
Oh yeah. It was always one other guy coming in.
All right. Probably right now the team that's probably playing the best football out of everybody is San Francisco 49ers.
Yep.
These guys. 2 straight road games, they won them all, dominating on defense, utilizing their offensive weapons. Christian McCaffrey again had another big day. Purdy was making enough plays and throws to his guys. We talked about it last week. They know what they have, and they know how to use everyone on that offense. They know how to utilize everyone on that offense, and their defense is always going to be good because they got their guys healthy and they're playing. So San Francisco right now, they're definitely playing the best football out of everybody right now.
Well, the franchise itself knows how to get to a Super Bowl without having a real quarterback that they had to rely on. So now that you have a quarterback that's solid that can get you down the field. He didn't really throw any touchdowns.
You talking about recently, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Okay. Yeah, I ain't talking about. Come on, man. Joe Montana guy.
You know, you got the audience.
A couple years ago, they got a Super Bowl with Garoppolo, who's not like your prototypical drop back, get you 200-300 yards a game quarterback. They rely more on their running game and their defense. All right. And then he win a playoff game with only throwing like single-digit passes.
Something like that.
Yeah. So now they have a quarterback that they actually believe in and actually rely on and feel like they can put the offense in his hands. They're producing and they're kicking ass. Now with the rushing game too, though, what was puzzling to me though, like they almost rushed the same amount of times. Granted, they had six extra rushes compared to LA's 22 to 28, but 159 to 89, like
because they got guys. They got guys that can make a few people miss, and then it's the yards after contact. And Christian McCaffrey's good at that. Debo, he's just Mr. I can do everything offensively. So they have a lot of guys that they can use in various ways. And they just have the Rams number. They always beat the Rams. Minus that one time the Rams beat them in the NFC Championship game, but that time in the regular season, they just always beat the Rams.
And Stafford's not helping himself. But, I mean, I don't know what the offense think they were going to achieve with Stafford throwing the ball 55 times. That's ridiculous. Like, you might as well not even have the running back there.
You know, wasn't he like hindered by like an elbow or shoulder problem last season?
Yeah.
Wasn't that the issue?
Something like that. Yeah. Threw two interceptions. Your leading rusher has 14 carries. Unacceptable. Yeah. Like, come on. You got to just be logical.
Well, the bright spot for the Rams is this guy, Puka Nacua. I think that's his name.
Yeah.
He over there making a name of himself on the scene.
I mean, he threw the ball 55 times. Somebody got to catch it. With Cooper Rush not in the lineup, you might as well get this guy. Let's see. That's back-to-back games. So, first game he had 10 receptions. This game, he had 15 receptions. Okay.
All right, good. Kudos to him. And last but not least, we can start talking about, so Denver, they came into this season, Sean Payton talked about it's not going to be like last year. They're doing all this wholesale changes. They're going to change their approach, change their offense. It's going to look a whole lot different. Don't look much different than last year. Once again, you were up by like 18 points. You blow an 18-point lead. You had complete control of this game, and I have no idea how they even let this game go. And you catch the Hail Mary and then can't convert the 2-point conversion. It's like, what's really going on in Denver? That's what we really want to know. Are they on that mile high before games? Like, what's going on up there?
That mile high, Colorado Indo.
Yes.
But
they play like it.
I told my boy, I said, man, I ain't picking against Denver until they convince me to. Y'all gotta force me to after what I saw last year. Because last year just seemed like it was just a solid quarterback and a great system that turned into an outstanding quarterback. And now we got to see what you're really made of and what skills you actually have. Mm-hmm. Granted, he played way better. Yeah. He's playing better football. They're just not winning. And I just knew Washington was going to win for some odd reason. I just felt that way about myself. But this young man, he's a rookie, right?
Sam Howell. Yeah, he's either a rookie or second-year player.
Well,
let me double check.
No interceptions. Played a solid game. Can't get mad at that at all.
Second year.
Yeah, and like I said, he's a solid quarterback with a great defense. Mm-hmm. So, and they're very resilient. Didn't they come back last week too?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, they're very resilient. Even last season, they showed you that they were making strides to change the franchise, but they still need to work on. Are they staying with that name?
Commanders?
Yeah. And don't mind that. It's just a leather Mook seat. You know, we got the whoopee cushions over here. That's kind of loud, you know. Like, had to clear that up for you, Mook. But
this one team is playing well.
Can they hear all this out from the chairs and stuff? So it might be sounding we rip it.
But Denver I don't know what's up with Denver. I don't know what's
We'll start talking highly about them once they win the game.
Yeah. Because you changed the coach and you thought that was going to fix the problem, and still that didn't fix the problem.
Because he got to be there a year or two so he can start, implementing that hitman, You can't come with the reinforcements the first year.
Oh, man.
You see how Michigan's rolling right now? He had to wait a couple years to get reinforcements in there. The Harbaugh system.
You're right. Man, let's go to Craig with your fantasy stardom and pickup. There's been a lot of stuff, a lot of players going down with season-ending injuries. So if you need to go into the waiver wire, Craig's gonna give you some advice and some people to look at in the waiver wire to pick up for if you lost a player, like I have. I lost 2 players to,
It's been lost his quarterback.
I lost my quarterback. I lost my running back. It's rough for me right now. No, here you go. No Huddle with Craig. We're going to come back.
What up, everybody? Welcome to No Huddle here on After the Whistle. It's your boy Craig for your starts and sits of the week. I'm doing this on the road, Got to be smart, got to be safe, but, got to get the picks done. So let's get right into it. Quarterback of the week, Trevor Lawrence. He has a matchup against Houston. He had a bad game last week against Kansas City. I think both teams and both quarterbacks had a relatively bad game. Look for all of the Jacksonville Jaguars to recover and throw them all in your lineup. Houston's not very good. This will be a shootout, and Trevor Lawrence will put up points for you. And with that being said, Calvin Ridley as well had a slump week last week, 2 missed touchdowns, and look for him to want to get back there. You saw Saquon Barkley sprained his ankle. They don't want to call him out yet. Sit him until you find out otherwise. But probably going to have to go after Matt Breida on the waiver wire. Even worse news, Nick Chubb out for the season with what looks like a career-ending leg break. Like, if you saw the video on it, it's ugly, it's bad. Jerome Ford is a must-add. He looked incredible after Nick Chubb missed time in the second half. So let's add Jerome Ford to your roster. To continue on, Puka Nacua has been a beast. Put him in your lineup every week. I would not bench this dude, not even when Cooper Kupp returns. With Kamara, 1 week left on suspension, Troy Jones came in with a Jamal Williams injury, looked relatively good, got you into double digits. If you're desperate for a running back, throw him in. Next, Alexander Madison, Rashad White. These are guys I am afraid of putting in my lineup. And to be honest with you, even if you are picking up Jerome Ford, they're going up against the Tennessee Titans. Tennessee Titans have the best run defense in the league. Why? Because they have to block Derrick Henry in practice. Nobody is harder to block than Derrick Henry, and they do it every week. So unless you're desperate, those are 3 guys I don't want to start. Cam Akers loses his job to Kyren Williams. Kyren Williams, I'm starting him in my lineup going up against the Chargers. This is going to be a high-volume game, and everybody will benefit. If Austin Eckler is back, I'd plug him in. Unfortunately, Cincinnati Bengals are playing terrible football. What do I got for time here? I don't actually like playing any of them, but I'm not playing Joe Burrow. I'm not playing Joe Mixon unless like I said, you're in desperation mode and you have to. Staying away from those guys. For defenses, Kansas City defense. Let me just say this. If you are streaming defenses, you need to be streaming defenses that are playing the Chicago Bears and the Arizona Cardinals. Stream those bad boys all day, and you will find luck. So let's go with that. Another quarterback that I like this week will be the who's the Chargers? Is the Chargers playing Minnesota? Whoever's playing Minnesota. It's skipping my mind right now. If you have quarterbacks going up against Minnesota, Deshaun Watson going up against Tennessee. I don't like Deshaun Watson, but if there was ever a week to play him, it is this week. Tennessee's backs, they all stink. So Deshaun Watson could have a good game. Whoever's playing Minnesota probably gonna have a good game. And it's on the tip of my tongue. I can't get it out. So tight ends, right now it's looking like a coin flip. But guys I don't like, Juwan Johnson not playing to his potential. I just got a message that Saquon Barkley is out. So Matt Breida is in. Pick him up. Put him in your lineup. They are going up against the 49ers. It's a tough play, but all these backup running backs are going up against tough defenses. So if you're desperate, you got to do it. So make it happen. Tight ends I do like. Evan Ingram this week. I think that's a favorable matchup. Mark Andrews, obviously, if you drafted him, you got to play him. He has a nice matchup this week as well, going up against Indianapolis. And that's all I have for you this week. Until next week, see you on No Huddle. Back to After the Whistle.
All right, we are back. Thank you, Craig, for that. All right, Athletes Corner. We got Nate Lebron. Dropped by in here, chatted, talked about playing at Salem High. You know, training players and all that stuff, all that good stuff. Chatted with him. Check this out, and we'll come back. Hello and welcome to another edition of Athletes Corner, and today we are joined by Nate Lebron Jr. Rare Grind Training. What is going on, guys?
What's good, my guy?
How are you?
I'm chilling, man, chilling.
Yeah, man. How's your summer been?
How's my what?
Summer.
Summer? It's been long. It's been busy. It's a good thing. A lot of players getting in work all summer, so.
Yeah, definitely. We're gonna get into all that. But first, we're gonna take a little trip down memory road. Played high school ball at Salem.
Yes.
Salem High. Tell me that experience, because I know in that time you had one of them teams that you guys had a really good shot at a state title. I don't know if you was there, but
yeah. So I went to Salem my junior and senior year.
Okay.
That team you're talking about was the year prior to me.
Okay.
So yeah, that was going in with big expectations, and it was a fun time. We weren't as good as we wanted to be, but it was definitely family over there.
Yeah,
it was cool.
Yeah, definitely. Well, just playing high school basketball in general in Salem and stuff, and then you got Lynn ties as well. So you know that little Salem-Lynn rivalry is really competitive. But just the development of playing high school basketball and just how it prepared you, for where you are now. Just can you talk about those years and those times playing and how it prepared you for what you're doing now? Yeah,
high school ball. It's definitely every athlete's first real test at adversity, what it really means to work hard, being able to play the right way, learning how to play the right way. You can't really just go off talent anymore. You have to have some type of IQ.
So does it like, high school ball, some people get into it thinking, this is going to be easy and stuff like that. But then when they get into it, they realize, you have to, there's like a certain process you have to go through, certain systems. You just can't play how you're playing out there. And especially when you're in an organized setting like this. Do you think like some players get that misunderstood at times? Like when they get into it thinking one way and then the reality hits, it's not how the way it goes?
No, 100%. When a lot of guys from this area, we grow up playing street ball, and that's how we learn the game. So when you get to high school or get to any higher level where you have to play team ball, it's a very big hit reality check. Yeah. And you got to learn the game fast. And once you learn the game, I feel like it's pretty easy. We got a lot of talented guys out here, so it's just the ability to learn the game as fast as you can.
Yeah, every time when I talk to people, like their first experience of just playing, either it's high school or college, or if they get a chance they played in the pros, they always say the first thing they really notice is the speed of the game is so much faster than what they thought it was. And you've seen guys that might not be as fast as you, but you see like they're going by you and everything's moving like at such a fast pace. Did that happen to you? Did you kind of feel that way like your first time on varsity?
Well, it was a long time. Yes, because I was so young. I played varsity as a freshman on the West Coast. I remember, I'm running up and down. Next thing you know, 10 plays later, 5 minutes into the game, I didn't even know what happened. Yeah. So it definitely hits you. It's definitely a real thing. Every level you go up, it's definitely just a change of pace.
Yeah. Did you notice any difference when you got over here, like style of play or there's any difference in like how we play here, how they play out there? Was there any difference, or was there similarities as well?
The similarity is definitely competition is everywhere. Like you think you're working hard out here, there's kids working hard everywhere. Yeah. So that is a big similarity. But play style from the school I went to was very, very team oriented. Here we got a lot of talent and we can take over games, but out there is more team.
No, definitely. Yeah. Let's get into your player developer now. You worked out a lot of student athletes this summer, high school, college. First, what got you into becoming? We'll give you the idea of becoming a player development. And how did you get into that field?
Well, I always had the passion for basketball. Right out of high school, I was going to go play college. I was going to go JUCO out in Boston, but I ended up having a kid really early. And it was either, for me, basketball practice for 4 years or being there for my son. So I chose my son. But I still had that burning passion for the game. So that passion turned into, oh, my God, I got boys. I got my boys. I got players that I know that still want to get to where I wanted to get to at one point. So if I can help them at any if I can help them at any point, that would be my goal, and that's what I started doing.
First, when was like your first real kind of experiences? Like, was it somebody came up to you and asked you, or did you just were you just out in the park helping somebody, and then somebody saw you and decided to do that, or like how did that kind of start? Because everybody's story of how they kind of started was different, even though they always had that passion to do so. But how they started with the developing players is always different.
Yeah, no. What happened with me was I was actually going to work out with my boy Sammy Batista.
Okay.
I was going to work out and I hurt my ankle on the way to the gym, and once I hurt my ankle, my boy was excited to work out still, and I was like, bro, honestly, I'll just work you out. Like, I made the workout, so I might as well just put you through the workout.
Yeah.
And then it was a good workout, and after that, word for word, he was like, bro, that was one of the best workout sessions I've ever had. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, wow, word, thank you. And just when he said that, something flipped, and I was like, oh my God, like I kind of like doing this.
Yep.
And then started with Sammy, ended up slowly and surely getting a lot more players, and trying to get everyone around here.
Yeah, shout out Sammy, Salem State right now.
Yeah.
He's over there. And through this summer, you've had so many sessions. Can you just talk about some of the players that you've had come through and that you had that's worked with you this summer, that either it's college or high school?
Yeah, high school, college, everyone's coming through. It's like Jarrell Okoro. He's been in the gym 2 times a day, every day. He goes to Trinity College. We got Liam Dunphy, he goes to Endicott. We got Jeffrey Hill, Lynn Maid. We got Sammy Batista, of course, 4 years strong. He's going to make a big jump this year. We got everybody, all guards. Like, I'm trying to take down everybody here, trying to get the people out.
Yeah, definitely. I see. I know you had Kanye, Jarnell, Mason.
Yep, Kanye, Jarnell, Mason.
JB.
Them three put in real work. Them three put in real work.
Yeah, definitely. How good does it feel when you see the work that they've been putting in, and also the work you've had them go through, when you see it fully developing and fully enveloping on the court, and it's actually working? Like the stuff they've been working on, they're using it, and it's effective, and it's helping them with their team and winning.
Yeah, so this year, it hasn't been so much in-game. It's been more of after the workout, we'll do one-on-ones or two-on-twos, and we'll be working on moves for weeks or working on different handle series for weeks, and they're able to just do them more naturally within the flow of the one-on-one or two-on-two, and once they have that realization, oh, I have that in my bag now. Oh, I can do that now. Yeah. Like being able to split a double team or being able to hit a Euro, like just being able to do these different things and have it feel more natural to them. Those moments when they say, "Oh shoot, I can do that now." Yeah. That's when that alone makes me feel good that they actually realizing the work actually paying off. Yeah,
definitely. Also, there's so many guys now willing in the same field as you that are out here helping these kids. Is how good there's like a community of player developers, not only just in Lynn or are from Lynn and have Lynn ties in surrounding areas, but how good is it to see that so many guys who played the game, who've gone places to play the game, or came back to their community and are showing the younger players the stuff they've learned, so they could take to them and maybe, one day those players could be doing the same thing you guys are doing for the generation behind them.
Yeah, it's great, honestly, being able to just come back and give back to your community in any way. I feel like especially influencing the younger generation, being able to help them do what they love, be better at doing what they love. Just being a positive influence is what every city needs, especially Lynn. Like, where I feel like this is like one of the first generations really giving back to the community of Lynn is really like blown up, and I feel like you're seeing the product of that. Yeah,
and I say this all the time to people. We probably have the most talent, basketball-wise, or any sport-wise, but especially basketball-wise. We have so many talented kids, talented players in this city, and it's just opportunities. We're trying to, we gotta get them out there. We gotta get them known. That's the thing. But there's so many kids out here with so many skills that some don't even realize the skills they have. Have you ever came across a player that you saw they had the tools, the skills? It was now you just got to build the confidence in them to use these skills that that they have, because sometimes you'll see a player, he has all the tools, but it's just you got to build that confidence.
Yeah, definitely had that. I don't know if you know Carl. Carl, he goes to he goes to Plymouth State, and he's 6'7", 230. He's a big man, but moves like a small forward. And it's just like he's not used to being out on the perimeter that often.
Yeah.
And when he realizes, like, oh, shoot, I actually move well for a big man, when I put him in the gym with other big men, that was like a big confidence boost. That was definitely one situation.
Yeah, definitely, man. Hey, man. You tall. You tall for a reason.
You tall for a reason, man.
You can't coach height.
For sure.
Coach height is what they say.
Yeah.
Man, let them know if they want to get your information. Let them know where they can find your stuff, what your work, and all the videos that you've done, and also if they want to get in contact with you, if they're interested in bettering their skills. Just please let them know where they can go to and how they can reach you.
No, yeah. My Instagram at Rare Grind Training. We work from everybody from fifth graders we work with everybody from fifth graders to college athletes, overseas, all of that. Yeah, come through. The goal is to get better, and you can't get better if you're not in the gym.
Are you in different gyms, or are you in one specific gym?
Yeah, no. So most of the time I work out at Lights Out Shooting Gym. My guy Rob hooked me up. Yeah, we're in there 24/7. If you do have a gym, I do travel.
Yep.
A lot of my college guys, they do go to their gym, so yeah, I go everywhere but Lynn-based. So.
Alrighty, man. Hey, first time here.
Yes, sir.
We'll have you on some more times. We'll check out one of your workouts one of these days.
100%.
Once football season's over.
Yeah.
You guys been watching the Plus One interview. Have a good one. We are back. Okay, Pedro, we got any boxing updates besides the big fight next weekend?
Yeah, that's it. No boxing updates.
Man, this build up is booty. This build up is booty for that Canelo and Charlo fight, man. Ain't no real trash talking. Canelo like, out the ring, I'm another guy. You get in the ring, I'm not number. It's like, come on, bro. You ain't got nothing else.
Hey, Canelo don't really know how to talk trash in English.
I get that. Just stop saying that reggaeton. Stop talking in Espanol. Call him something. I'm like, you ain't got to block the mouth. It's a different language, right?
Nah.
Call him or something like, you got to give me something. Like, something, Jesus.
Oh, man.
Canelo, like, Charlo trying to make it interesting, but it's like the world doesn't really know Charlo, I feel like, as like a vocal person compared to all the other boxers that have been vocal and fighting, so like.
Is it his brother who's the more vocal one?
Yeah, but like one is more vocal than the other, but like the world I feel doesn't really know them as well as these other boxers compared to being behind the mic.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but Paige, if you gotta play some of them out, I know you got abuelas and things like that, TIs and TOs. Just say it.
Hey, man.
But yeah, come on, we need some excitement, man. Like, if you're gonna be punching somebody in the face, like, you can't walk in there and try to, you know what I mean, shake hands and kumbayas, man. I'm trying to DMX you. Like,
I hear that.
Crazy.
Oh, man. Oh, Dion in Colorado had us up till late. Oh, man, I was up till 3 in the morning watching that game. Colorado State. Turned into a great game, actually, but geez Louise, I was praying for no overtime.
I got DeAndre watching football, a little bit of football. She was like, why you tell you about this game? Like, I knew the game was going to be that good. Like,
right?
And that's the price we pay about watching certain football games. Because sometimes we can watch a straight stinker, like how your chair sounded, or we can watch a great game. You know what I mean? And I fell asleep during that Florida game because I was waiting up for prime. Waiting up for prime time, baby.
Yeah, everybody was tweeting out, like, get this Florida game on TV.
Man, like, first of all, we shouldn't have to wait that long. It's like go to the club or something. Like,
right.
I'm sure people stayed home from the club to watch prime time. Like, it's just, the whole world is just, I mean, prime got the whole world in uproar in regards to supporting each other.
Hey, man.
And it's just like, he's shown that side to be a confident black man, speaking up for your kids, doing things the right way. You ain't disrespecting nobody, but your bashfulness and confidence comes off so disrespectful to other people who aren't comfortable around you. Sounds like you're bragging, but you just toe tagging these games, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
and here's the thing, like a lot of the parents now with these kids that play football and stuff, Dion was like the first superstar they saw. So they've been a fan of Deion.
That's my point.
So it's like Deion's like he's probably the first NFL superstar.
He's one of like the first, like, because he was very vocal compared. I mean, he's like the first vocal athlete.
Yeah.
But like he won, he lost. He's always been humble but confident at the same time.
Yeah.
He's a godly man, which the world loves a godly man.
Yeah.
So, and he's for the kids. He gives back. The man got his toes amputated, and he's still walking around coaching, still there for the kids, and that's nothing but an honorable man.
And you've never heard of him nothing like
His kids
off
either.
the field or anything. You never heard of anything crazy with him off the field. So it's kind of like people.
But they always treated him and villainized him like he did do wild stuff off the field, and all he did was he was just so obnoxious and good on the field that you thought it carried off. But he was just a genuine guy that was so good and people couldn't stand it.
He invented swag.
Yeah,
He literally invented swag.
Yeah, I give you some of that because
There was a few other people too, but
I'm a big Muhammad guy, Ali guy, so you know.
Yeah, I think like not like I'm talking about fashion wise.
That's what I mean. That's what I was saying. You're right.
Because he had the gold chains and the glasses and everything. But to this game, Colorado State came to play. You know that dude with that dirty hit, which was uncalled for. That looked like a bounty to me.
But that's part of the game.
That bounty.
Unfortunately, we live in an oversensitized world that we forget that dirty plays are part of the game, unfortunately. And when your best player is a
Dual threat?
Yeah, dual threat. Unfortunately, you're gonna try to get him out there.
But the crazy thing is, because with college football especially, I've seen people get ejected for far less things.
Yeah, it happened this weekend.
For bang bang plays, or like they trying to tackle the receiver, running back lowers their head, lowers their shoulders, and he lowers his, and then they just happen to accidentally collide and helmets hit.
You think Kamara should have got ejected?
Kamara
for his hit on Shador?
Yeah.
All right, I'm just asking. I didn't think it was that bad, but because it was up top, I get it.
Yeah, and it's like in every level, the quarterback just don't do nothing after the play on the quarterback.
Yeah.
Like even if it's like if it would have been like bang bang, he threw the ball got out and bang bang that happened, probably wouldn't.
Yeah, I get it. I was just asking, but I'm happy that for one, Colorado State is nice.
Yeah,
they good.
But they fumbled that game.
I think Colorado wasn't playing to their level until the fourth in overtimes. Yeah,
that's
when they really got to their mode.
Because they turned them over. They turned them over, and then I think they stopped them again. Then they started doing the plays that was working for them all game.
But think about it. They were out of sorts because their best player on defense and offense wasn't even out there. So now guys had to pick up the slack. And sometimes it takes some quarters to adjust to that, and I'm happy they adjusted because I want them guys to go national championship. I know I got my favorite teams and stuff like that, but if Prime's coaching, I'm always on time.
But that's just like the crazy thing you look at it, like 98 yards. You go 98 yards, and you need a touchdown, and you need a 2-point conversion. And that's like the stuff. That's the stuff that like stars are made for.
But we've been hearing about this for the past couple of years, Jackson State, because we actually followed them and see when he was doing it. And when he got the ball, I wasn't surprised. I was just
because you could tell when he started running.
I was just curious how many players going to take to get down there.
No,
because I knew I knew it was going to happen. He's just too good.
You knew it got serious because he started running. He wasn't running the whole game. He wasn't scrambling the whole game. He was trying to get the ball out of there, just trying to get it to his guys. But then he just started scrambling. He just said, "Forget this. I'm just going to start running."
Yeah, my apologies. I almost drowned on air.
Yeah, so
water. But what I was going to say is though, he seems more comfortable on the football field than probably real life.
I think he was a lot more comfortable at Jackson State off the football field.
Oh, yeah, but I just mean he's such a football player. I just feel like he's probably in his element when he's on the football field and not as well when he's out of that. Just because he was so calm in that, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so. Mad calm, very calm. But they got... Now it's like they got the biggest stretch right now. The next 2 weeks they're going to Oregon this weekend. Then they got that big game against USC. And if you thought every celebrity and their mama was at the last game, The USC game, man, oh man, everybody's gonna be at that one. I'm gonna watch that one too. Now that one should be, I think that one might be in like the afternoon. I hope it's on prime time though. I hope it's late.
They're both West Coast teams.
Yeah.
Where they playing at USC?
No, it's in Colorado.
In Colorado.
So I hope it's like maybe like a 7 p.m. game. I don't know what time it is.
It might be a 9 o'clocker, bro.
And we'll be watching too. Man, no high school football recaps with Joey this week. Joey got some stuff to do. Try to get somebody else, but he's away. Another person I try to get to fill in for him, he's away. So none this week, but Joey will be back next week. But I'll give you the recap. Lynn English fell to Swampscott 27-12. They looked a lot better than they did the week before, but mistakes cost them the game. Mistakes cost them the game in the second half. It was a one-score game for a while, and then, just mistakes. St. Mary's came back, beat Winthrop 15-14. Coach Driscoll got his 100th win. That was a crazy game, actually. Kip Academy shut out Latin Academy. I think it was 40-0 or 38-0. Lynn Classical, they had Peabody. They had him. It was 14-7 going into the fourth quarter. Classical was in control, and Peabody scored 24 points in that fourth quarter.
Damn.
Yes, kid Eli Batista scored 3 touchdowns.
Hold up. Running back?
He's running back, wide receiver.
Dude's little brother?
I'll show you him. I got it.
Nah, his little brother point guard at Salem State. He's playing St. Mary's.
Oh.
Sammy, that's a little. I think that's his little brother.
Oh.
Cause I used to do FKO in Peabody.
Okay.
He got hair aid.
I don't know. I'll show you. I'll show you in a second how he looks. But yeah, he had 3 touchdowns in that fourth quarter.
That is him actually, because Sammy was telling me about his brother. That's nice.
Oh. Let's get into these highlights. Okay. We're just gonna go right into it like we did last week. We're gonna get bombarded with a bunch of our post-game interviews with players and coaches. We got Coach Bush of Swampscott, Coach Betancourt of Peabody, Coach St. Pierre of St. John's Prep. As far as players, we got Alex Silva and Eli Batista, Dylan Alberti, and Matthew Callahan from St. John's Prep. So check these interviews out, then we're going to come back with our highlights. Coach, that first half, a little back and forth offensively. You guys started off slow, and then you guys got that fumble recovery in the end zone. It seemed like that got you guys going.
Yeah, I think, one of the things we talk about defensively is forcing turnovers. We didn't get our goal of getting, 3 turnovers tonight, but to score a defensive touchdown, obviously that's one of our goals in every game is to score on D, or however you can score for that matter. But I just think that got us back on track. I think, again, one of the things that we have a young team. We have 4 seniors. We got a big junior class, and again, I think that, this group hasn't faced a ton of adversity, and how they respond will determine their success. And I think that getting that touchdown really sparked them a little bit and kind of got the fire lit back under their butts. So it was obviously a momentum changer.
Defensively, it seemed like they were marching down the field early. They had a few red zone opportunities that they didn't capitalize on. What did you guys do at halftime to adjust that you held them to 0 points in the second half?
We tackled better. I think, again, I was saying earlier, it's hard to replicate. Lynn English's speed is very good, and I think it's hard to replicate it. We do the best we can, but I think our kids, not so much, an X's and O's thing. It was just more what angles they're taking and getting more heads to the, instead of trying to tackle with one guy, we're getting multiple heads to the ball. So we played better team defense, I would say, in the second half.
And overall, just how did you like, offensively, defensively, special teams, how did you like the way they just collectively performed tonight?
Again, you go in the half at 14-12, the game's kind of up in the air a little bit. I thought we responded really well. Offensively, there's things that we can clean on all sides of the ball. And these coaches know that. Nothing was perfect tonight, but we made the plays when we had to. And down the stretch, again, I think our conditioning was good. I think a couple guys got some cramps late. But again, I thought we were there till the end, and it's nice to get the first win.
Congratulations on the win.
All right, thank you.
All right, Coach. Second half, you guys offensively picked up the steam a little bit more. Slow first half. What kind of changed in that second half?
Well, it was a tale of two halves. First half, we were getting penalized a lot, making mistakes, playing from behind the chains. We talked at halftime about playing our game, just being tough up front, wearing them down, and putting Eli in space and letting him do his thing. And we were able to get that accomplished much more efficiently in the second half than we were in the first.
Defensively, what did you guys do to slow them down? It seemed like they had some stuff going early on, and in that third quarter, it seemed like in the fourth quarter, you guys really took them out of their game.
On a couple of plays, we overplayed a little bit. Told our guys just to stay home, trust their keys, trust their alignment, and we did a much better job, again, of doing that in the second half.
Eli, 3 touchdowns, some big plays too. What can you say about him?
He's a special player. I mean, he really had 4 touchdowns. He had 1 called back. So, I mean, when you have a kid like Eli Batista on your team, you want to utilize him as much as you can in as many different ways as you can. Whether it's a kickoff, a punt return, as a receiver, as a running back. We try to get him the ball as much as we can, let him do his thing. He's a special player.
Coach, 2-0. Let's start for the season. How are you liking it so far? How your team has played these past 2 weeks?
Anytime you come out 2-0, obviously you're happy. I'm happy that we played better this Friday than we did last Friday. Executing on offense a little bit against a stronger defense. They were bigger than Revere, and we were able to step up to that challenge. I thought our offensive line played well. A couple missed assignments, but you're going to get that. We were able to bounce back from those mistakes and make plays when we had to make plays.
Congratulations on the Coach.
Thank you.
Coach, these guys, whenever these two teams get together, it's always a battle. I mean, just talk about the battle your team just had out here with Central Catholic.
Yeah, it was to be expected. It's always a physical game. It's a big rivalry, and you've been around enough, Mook, that you know it brings out the best in both teams, I think. And we have some shortcomings right now that we got to fix, but I was proud of the effort. Effort's never an issue with the group. It's execution right now and some youth and some young mistakes.
Yeah, they seem like you guys had like a momentum. They got that fumble right there, try to take the momentum back, but you guys responded right away after they scored. Can you talk about the maturity of your guys just responding as the other team's trying to take that momentum back?
Yeah, I think offensively we've done a great job responding. I would like to not put ourselves in that position to have to respond. We got to shore things up, but the fumble hurt us. The blindside hit. Quarterback didn't really have a chance on that one, but that zapped our momentum. But got the ball back and had a huge drive to win the game, which was always great to see out of your offense. With the win today, it's hard to throw the ball, so it's they knew we were going to run the ball. We're still able to do it, which is huge.
Your 2 running backs, Cam and Dylan, can you talk about how they just empower what it means to be a St. John Prep running back with the physicality?
Well, you just said it. I mean, that's what we're about, the physical play, and both those guys run so hard, and I thought our line blocks really well for them. But the way they finish runs and the way they compete, Dylan's playing both ways. He's also playing safety for us and returning kicks. So he's doing a ton for us. And Cam runs so physically and finishes all his runs. So we're lucky to have those guys.
All right, 2-0 feeling right now. How are you liking the progress from week 1 to week 2 and moving into week 3?
2-0 is better than 0-2, but we got a lot of work to do. We got to get back to work this week and kind of find our groove a little bit here now that we're into the season. I think the early season jitters should be over by now. First road game, now first home game. It's time for us to take off a little bit right now.
Congratulations on the win, Coach.
Thanks, Mook. Appreciate it.
And we are back. All right, we got highlights. All right. First highlights. Swamps versus Lynn English, St. Mary's versus Winthrop, Kip versus Land Academy, Lynn Classical versus Peabody, and then St. John's Prep versus Central Catholic. So check these highlights out, and then we're going to come back. right, we are back. Okay, we got the top 10 plays. And also, shout out to Dave. Dave made a new bumper for the top 10. So, yeah, look at the bumper, top 10 plays. But yeah, we got a new bumper. It might be other ones too. So we're working on adjusting to some of these bumpers. Check this out. We're going to come back with our game picks and call it a day.
Here we go. It's time for this week's top 10 plays from week 2 of the high school football season. At number 10, we go to Swampscott, where Lynn English took on Swampscott, and quarterback Jaden Rosario finds Josh Anderson for a Bulldogs touchdown. At number 9, it is Central Catholic quarterback Jackson Pereira who finds Jack Steen for a beautiful 28-yard touchdown pass. At number 8, we're at Manning Field, and Kip Academy running back Alan Delgado takes the ball, goes up the middle, and he's off to the races for a 50-yard touchdown in a Kip blowout of Latin Academy. At number 7, it's Peabody High receiver Eli Batista, who had 3 touchdowns on the day. Here's one of them. He takes a short screen pass, make a few defenders miss, and he's off to the races. Touchdown Peabody and a win over Lynn Classical. At number 6, once again, it's Eli Batista of Peabody. This time he takes the snap. No defender touches him, and he's off to the races. 40 yards for the touchdown. Batista scored 3 touchdowns in that fourth quarter. At number 5, we go back to Manning Field, and Kip Academy's Jovan Machado takes it in the Wildcat form, makes a few guys miss, and he is off to the races. Nobody is catching him. He goes 50 yards for a Kip touchdown. At number 4, we go back to Peabody High. This time it is Alex Silva who gets the Tanners their first score of the game with this 55-yard touchdown run. He saw the seam in the alley and he was off to the races. Number 3, it is Central Catholic running back Mason Backery who takes the carry up the middle, and he's off for a 60-yard touchdown run for the Raiders. At number 2, this time we go back to Swampscott, and this time it's running back Will Bush who brushes off the tackle, and he eludes the defenders, and he goes all the way to the end zone for the 65-yard touchdown run for the Big Blue in their win over the Bulldogs. At the number 1 spot, it is Kip Academy's Mornell Castro who takes this carry. He hits the sidelines, turns the corner, and he is off for a 90-yarder. Nobody is going to catch him. The young man has some speed on him. He had 2 touchdowns called back in this game, but this one did count.
All right, and we are back. Okay, let's go to our week number 3 game picks as I bring up the scoreboard. All right, Thursday night football, Giants, San Francisco home opener.
Bro, I would never pick the Giants.
Yeah, I'm with you with that.
Did I pick them last weekend though?
I think you did.
I think I did, not one.
But
not this go around.
Patriots, Jets. Patriots, you lose this one, I'm going to be really giving y'all the side eye. But they're not, so. Titans, Browns in Cleveland.
I got the Titans, man.
Yeah, I got the Titans. These guys just, that injury, it's emotional after your best player gets injured, so I got the Titans. Falcons, Lions. Falcons 2-0 in Detroit.
You know what? I'm going to go with Detroit.
Same, I'm going with Detroit too. Because Falcons, they won 2 home games. Saints and Packers in Green Bay.
I'm going with the Saints.
I'm going with the Packers because I think this is their home opener. Broncos at Miami.
Oh, I'm going with the Fins.
Oh yeah, me too. Because it's a 1 o'clock game. They're in Miami.
Oh no.
I think they might be getting to the game from the club. The Broncos players.
Why would they do such a thing?
Hey man.
For one, it's gonna be like 100-some degrees out there.
Hey man.
At 1 o'clock.
You know some of these folks.
Stadium's gonna be 10 times hotter than outside.
Hell yeah, but you know these folks, they go to Miami and you on per diem with the teams, so the team's paying for everything. You out. Chargers, Vikings, both 0-2 in Minnesota.
I got the Chargers, man.
Yeah, I got the Vikings. Bills, Commanders.
I got the Bills.
Commanders. Texans, Jaguars.
Jags.
I got the Jaguars too. Colts, Ravens.
I have the Ravens.
Ravens. I do too. Panthers, Seahawks, in Seattle.
Yeah, I'm going with the Seahawks.
Yeah,
man.
same. Just because it's in Seattle. Bears, Chiefs.
Chiefs.
Same. Chiefs. Cowboys, Cardinals in Arizona.
I'm going with the boys.
Yeah, this got like the easiest first 3 games I've ever seen. Steelers, Raiders.
I'm going with the Raiders, man.
It's in Vegas. I'm going with the Raiders. Monday night doubleheader. Eagles, Bucks in Tampa.
Eagles.
Same. I'm gonna go with the Bucks. They're at home. I'm going with the Bucks. Rams, Bengals in Cincy.
Rams.
I'm gonna go with the Rams. Cincinnati looks like they need help. All right, that'll do it. Then make sure you go to the website, lentv.org. There's some games up there too there's some games that are gonna be up there that from this past weekend, Pop Warner and a high school game. So check that out. Make sure you follow him, Mr. Burton 23 on Instagram. Make sure you follow me, Mukala K on Instagram. LCTV After the Whistle on Instagram. All that good stuff. I don't know whose birthdays is coming up, but I mean, whatever. Have a good one, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see y'all next week.